Hello, 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 welcome back to Let's Play New Order as the West Russian Revolutionary Front. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So, I think things are going pretty well for us. We are currently trying to align ourselves with the United States, at least a little bit here. Gonna give us more support for Yakovlev and Akhmayev, but that's okay. It should be fine for now, just because I think having support from the United States, getting weapons, getting any material really from the US, I think is going to be probably more worthwhile than trying to align ourselves with like Haiti and a handful of like Arab states. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'm trying to be a little bit more pragmatic about this. But aside from that, I think we're looking pretty good. EuroLeague has declared war on somebody else. Is that just the smaller states here that we don't care about too much? The answer is yes. So these guys are all fighting. These are actually, fun little fact if you don't know, these were like the first country that were actually even given any focus trees in the mod, in the original demo. What was that, like 4 years ago at this point? If not even like a little bit longer than that. It was a long time ago. Okay, so we've got our eyes on the West. Is there anything else we want to do first? Rival to DC... Proud Red Army, the NEP. I mean, stability's fairly okay right now. Political power goes up. We'll spend a little bit of money for more administration buildings. Reduces the administration strain on the states. You know what? That actually might be pretty good, because I feel like the strain is fairly high, if I'm remembering. Military policies, economic policies. I don't remember where you even actually see the strain. Healthcare, social development, poverty rate change. It's actually going up right now, which is not really where we want it to be, obviously. But I mean, it could be worse. We have a deficient administration, so yeah, we want to try to make our admin just better. Being able to actually administer the country, especially one that's as large and as populous as, you know, the Soviet Union. It's going to take a big administration, so we need to get that like on top of things like ASAP. And I still feel like my microphone's a little bit loud. I'm actually re-recording this because I guess somehow my entire freaking setup got messed up at some point. I don't really know how that happened. Let's slip the hounds of war. The rebellion has begun. Our sources were correct. For once, and the general insurgency against the Finnish forces have driven the Finnish defensive forces out of the Kola province and have cleared the city of Murmansk. A glorious victory in its own right, to be sure, but it is only the beginning. Giving a bloody nose, yes, but beaten? This is only the first phase in a struggle against us and them. The Russian and the Finn will come to blows once more, and they shall not be alone. The port of Murmansk has always been the first port to have call for foreigners and supplies. This time, Murmansk will be the home of people much closer to home. Our volunteers have already been trained and equipped by us to fight alongside our brethren inside the MPR. It's these legions that will face the brunt of the Finnish army and take them out. While their numbers are still on the ground or down by the Murmansk partisans, until they have no choice but to evacuate from their conquest. Then, and only when Helsinki is humiliated to the prying eyes of the world, shall Murmansk and East Karelia be returned to us as they should have been all along. Under political power, we can now send volunteers to aid Murmansk. How many troops can we actually send? Ooh, 4. Not bad at all. Are you a full... I want you to be a full 12 stack, because I'm not too sure if I really trust, Finland here. And we're going to send these 4 troops. We'll send them over to Murmansk. Yeah, send those volunteers over. Sounds great. And I'm assuming at some point we might get directly involved in the war. Regional development. Boosting supplies. Equipment. Yeah, the Murmansk crisis. Currently preparations currently at 0 out of 100. We gain 5% per week. We have a lot of supplies. So, like, well, overall, we're actually looking pretty good. Armed partisans, 500 units will go away. We'll arm some of those more units. Well, let's attach military advisors. Let's militarize the port. How many guns do I have in storage right now? 4.7k. Okay, let's send 500, 500. I mean, let's just fucking click all the buttons. There we go. Excellent. Just press everything, and we'll will probably be happy there. Aside from you, eliminate terrors of the OFN. Influence of Alexander Yakovlev has to be at least 35. Terrors of the OFN shall be eliminated, granting us an increase for trade opportunities in the future. Increases the influence of the reformists by 2. Honestly, I still think that's worthwhile. As again, we are boosting Yakovlev right now, but that's not going to be indefinite. You know, at some point we are going to swing back towards the more orthodox line in the future. It's just the short term. The short term, we're going to go a little bit more progressive before we lean towards the orthodox route. But I do hope people are enjoying the series. You know, I do enjoy making the videos. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, including me. I need to actually turn on my fan. Because even though it's now the first or second day of fall, it is still a little warm. It's still a little too hot for comfort, unfortunately. Hey, our volunteers have arrived. And now, I mean, how much does Finland have? 12 to 17. You have 3 to 13. I mean, it's not, like, that crazy. I mean, I guess I'll assign you to, like, this front, and you push your way down south, I think maybe makes the most sense. But either way. Surrender limit plus 100%, war support plus 30, frozen solid. Okay, we've rebuilt the bureaucracy. Very, very, very happy to see that. And what do we want to do? Escalate the warlordism trials, liberalize appointment. I mean, we want to get this done. And again, it does reduce the strain on the states. I still think that is worthwhile. And again, it's going to get a little bit less influence for the reformists. So it is something that we do want to do. I mean, Finland, they don't look like their units are actually that good. Which is a benefit for me, obviously. Because I don't want them to have any power whatsoever. Okay, the Democratic Front has won in Italy. Are they... What are they? They're progressives? Okay. I don't know if Italy can go communist. I think they used to, like, years and years and years ago. But I think they did remove that at some point. Not that, you know, Italy... I mean, Italy would be a good ally, theoretically. But I don't know how well they would actually really do. Okay, preparedness is at 25%. This is going to go by another 40. What the hell? Oh my god, these are looking pretty good. We are sufficiently prepared for the intervention against Finland. I'm guessing we need the full 100%. Activates mission tempo for the Karelian War. I mean, if I can invade Finland, I would love to do so. I think we would win. I'm pretty confident we will be able to win the war against Finland. I'm not scared of a bunch of Finns. We can take Karelia. We can, you know, integrate all these states into us. Again, that's going to boost up our GDP, which would be very, very, very happy to see that. And again, we're making money. You know, 1.13%. Eventually, we're going to pay down all of our debt. I mean, at the current rate, it's going to take about 10 years. But as we integrate more and more territory into our country, the more money we can harvest for taxes, the better we will. The better we'll be. Do you have any modifiers? For, not for units, at least. I don't know how good your generals are. They could be quite nice. But overall, I'm feeling fairly confident. Onega doesn't have that many units. I want to station you all towards the north now. Thank you. Now, Murmansk is somewhat actually close to being killed off, which is not great. So you need a full 100%, huh? What are you guys doing up here? Do I need to put more divisions in Murmansk? They're at 75, and there's no other buttons I can actually press, unfortunately. Maybe at some point... I'm actually going to station one troop up north. I don't know, maybe at some point... there will be a... slightly decreases coring time. I mean, that could be nice. I don't know if at some point we're going to get more events that we can take, more decisions we can take, or maybe there'll just be like another event if they last long enough. I'm not too sure. The trial. And if you can get the resource extraction 2 off my screen, I would be very, very happy about that. The man was dragged before the court, his hands chained behind his back. A military judge was presiding, a major general in a fine red army uniform. There were very few people there to bear witness, only a few soldiers and a clerk. Only the warlords themselves were given an audience for their trials. The ones for their apotects were considerably smaller affairs. The judge read out the charges and then the sentence. The man was found guilty by the court of treason against the Soviet Union and her people, as well as complicity in murder, banditry, theft, as well as a dozen other crimes, all perpetrated while in the service of the Tsar's reactionary Nazi collaborator regime of the warlord state of Vyatka. Finding no mitigating circumstances for his actions, the judge sentenced the man to death. His execution will be carried out by firing squad at the soonest possible convenience. As he was dragged out to his death, his eyes widened with fear. The man began to shout, "Please, I was only an archivist." Okay, reduce the strain on the state. Fantastic. Prison efficiency. I mean, what do we want? It is 65 now. So you know what? We could go for another, 12.5% factory output. Would it not say no to that one? Luckily, okay, we do have 2 divisions in Murmansk right now. I'm sending my extra troop up north. I think he kind of does need to actually be up there. Cameroon has collapsed. Not a big deal for us. Yeah, get you up north as soon as you can. Hey, okay, we can send you more weapons. And okay, so no matter what, in 4 weeks we can invade. Because we're getting that 5% bonus. Now, you don't actually give us any more preparedness, but it does give our allies more equipment. So that is nice for you. And with 79 political power, is there anything else we want? Expand power grid. Again, right now, that's actually not necessary. We've kind of dealt with that issue. Construction 30% is kind of garbage. You know what? Free admin offices? I mean, there's a 25% chance of getting that. But you're not sure. You know what? Let's invest in Soviet infrastructure. Get that one going. Would not say no. We'll keep that open down there for now. Because again, I do want to intervene. I want to invade Finland at the soonest possible convenience. Right? Because if we can invade Finland, that's going to give us more manpower. It's going to give us more factories. It's going to give us more money. And we can use that as leverage against these smaller states. Now, the EuroLeague is invading the Zlatos Republic. So our ability to buy weapons from them is going to disappear very quickly. And be non-existent, unfortunately. But there's not really too much we can really do about that. 90%? I guess, yeah. I guess it makes sense. Because it's weekly. It's not monthly. So very, very, very soon we'll be able to directly intervene. I feel like we've done a good start here. And let's go. Let's prepare ourselves for an invasion. Do I need to send more units up north? Because let's see. Where are you guys? Against Orenburg? Honestly, Orenburg, I think we're probably fine ignoring you for now. We're going to send Green Army just purely southwards. And they're going to spearhead their way. This is a lake. Spearhead their way up north. And then they're going to push away down south. I don't think we're going to need to push away all the way to Helsinki. That seems probably not necessary. And then tomorrow, not tomorrow, but very, very, very soon, the Karelian War will break out. And in 7 days, we declare war on both of them. Does that actually require... No, it doesn't seem like it requires for Murmansk to actually even still be alive. Like, they could theoretically get killed off. And we should be fine. Legalize minority autonomy, or not, legislate the new age of culture. You know what? Let's go for uplift socialist values. And then we'll go for the new Soviet woman and appeal to the populace. Because that's going to be an extra 2 points for the Orthodox guy. Happy to see that. Arrival in D.C. The plane began its slow descent into Tbilisi International Airport, circling once before completing its landing. Alexander Yakovlev was glad to finally be off of the long flight. His trip to America was rather a bumpy one, and he didn't usually like flying. Sent to America to negotiate a trade deal and request economic aid, Yakovlev was happy to meet with the Americans. Having visited multiple times before, he was all but used to the country and its people. This time would even be an official visit. If all had been planned, he would then get to even meet the president. It was also lucky that Yakovlev knew English. He was one of the only few of the higher echelon members of the front that knew it, actually. No one really studied it back in old World War days, and most couldn't even travel to English-speaking countries. But that was in the past. If Yakovlev was successful in these few weeks, he knew his partnership that could last decades could be built between Russia and the United States. I mean, I'm hoping the Americans will be friendly towards us. I mean, I see no reason why they would hate us necessarily. Okay, so that was no. Let's go back to support companies. Army, organization, region. Let's first... I mean, I like the supply consumption, especially because we're going to be fighting a lot. Supplies in the post-war Soviet Union probably are not great. So just having that, I think, is going to be a benefit for us. Persuade other factions. You know, put 1 point into you for 25 points. Fairly cheap. So I think it's worthwhile. Germany's declared war on various Baltic states. That is okay. And I'm actually surprised that Green and Blue Army actually have supplies right now to wage a war against Karelia. I didn't think they would have it, but the day is here. The West Russian Revolutionary Front declared war on the Republic of Finland. And what other decisions do we have? So tempo. We have 1 year to win. Okay, that's fair. Purchase military access to you. Thing is, they're currently about to die. So I don't think buying anything... I mean, if you're going to buy anything from them, I guess now would actually be the best point. Abolish forced labor. Absolutely not. That is never going to happen. Never in a trillion years. Okay, so blue and green armies, you're going to invade immediately. Onega, I don't think, is going to be able to survive too much of a fight. And then once you're gone, like, again, I don't think Finland themselves are really going to be able to offer up too much resistance. The Karelian War. In addressing the nation in a live televised speech earlier today, the president of Finland has announced that the Russian army units have crossed the border into Finland. While the state of the surprise Russian offensive is not known, the attacks from the Murmansk People's Republic against Finnish forces have intensified significantly with conjunction with the news of the strike. With the attacks, Russia has effectively declared war on Finland and launched a multi-pronged offensive deep in the heart of Onega, the Finnish buffer state set up to isolate Helsinki from the West Russian anarchy. As Russian forces advance westwards, Russian spokesman warned of a dire consequences if Finland continues to besiege the Murmansk People's Republic, and have ordered Helsinki to cease war of aggression against the Russian people, and recognize the separatist republic as an independent state. We're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. I don't think Murmansk is going to fall. Again, even if they do fall, I don't think it's actually going to be the end of the world. You want... Oh, I'm not actually making any motorized? Okay, we can just throw that... We can throw that in there, no problem whatsoever. Anything else we want to do? Encourage returning Espriettes. Again, it's like a little bit of manpower. It's honestly not great. I'm probably never going to take you. No offense. No offense. But you're not really what we're looking for right now. Unfortunately. Okay, but we're looking pretty good on you. We haven't taken Onega quite yet, but our units are moving quite nicely. When do our reinforcements get here? Or not our reinforcements, but our they're bombing my trains? You assholes. Okay, they'll be here on the 16th, so 2 more days. I guess we can assign them just a green army. I feel like that is more than reasonable. And boom, that's going to be actually a perfect 12. A perfect 12 stack as well. But I think with that, I know this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode by like a minute or two, but that's just because I think the episodes will work better, I think, in my head. But I think at least for right now, this is going to be a good time for us to end this episode. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoyed, thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.